While automakers are trying to manage huge first-in-a-century transitions to EVs and software-defined vehicles, the industry is getting hammered by a series of supply chain shortages. The conflict in Iran is just the latest in this pattern, and it's driving up the price of oil and threatening access to key raw materials. Though the region is not a major producer of car parts, it is, of course, a key producer of oil. And the threats of attacks on tankers in the Strait of Hormuz is effectively cutting off 20% of the world's supply. That has ripple effects for parts made around the world, and in some cases, consumer demand. Oil was trading just above $80 per barrel on Tuesday after spiking above $100 the day before. Over the last 2 weeks, fuel costs have jumped for both ordinary drivers and shipping and freight companies. Duncan Wood, a researcher at the Wilson Center, told me that rising energy prices will also likely push up manufacturing costs overall. This is especially true for natural gas and LNG. This is likely to have more of an impact in Asia than North America, but Asia is the largest car producing region in the world and also where key components like microchips are made. Refining essential raw materials such as steel, aluminum, and glass is also energy intensive. Oil is also what plastics are made from. If this goes on, it could push up the price of the petrochemicals that form them. And some estimate plastics make up about 30% of the parts in a car. The region is also a significant aluminum producer. Bahrain and the United Arab Emirates have installed around 9% of the world's total aluminum smelting capacity. The US imports between 80 and 90% of its primary aluminum. About 20% of it comes from the Gulf. As with plastic, aluminum has become a crucial material for car making, in part because it's lighter than steel and is excellent for reducing weight, which can improve fuel mileage or help EVs achieve better range. AlixPartners managing director Dan Hirsch told me that it is possible that tankers are going around Africa to avoid the region entirely, which adds days or even weeks to transit.
We haven't seen it yet, but at some point somebody's going to run out of a key material, and that's where production disruption happens, and that's even more expensive.
All of this is happening as automakers are paying out billions of dollars in tariff costs and writing down tens of billions of dollars more in EV investments that haven't paid off. So what does this mean for consumers? Gas Buddy analyst Patrick DeHaan said fuel pump prices in the US have seen two 12-cent increases in the last 2 weeks. At the beginning of March, the majority of US states had gas prices below $3 a gallon. Now, just 19 of them do, and in the next week or two, DeHaan expects that the rest of them will join the others at that higher price point. That gas station in Iowa that Trump talked about in his State of the Union speech that had fuel at $1.85 a gallon, now it's above $3. If parts and material prices rise, that's another cost automakers will either have to eat or pass on to consumers at a time when vehicle prices are already high, just below $50,000. Some analysts so far don't think the spike in gas prices will last long enough to send everyone rushing to smaller, more fuel-efficient vehicles or even EVs as consumers have in the past. Duncan Wood said other countries are boosting production to make up for the shortfall, and there is evidence that Iran is running out of missiles to fire at tankers going through the strait. The pandemic era brought all kinds of shortages of raw materials, but also more complicated parts, such as infamously computer chips. The war in Ukraine also hampered the supply of wire harnesses, which the country is a major world producer of. AlixPartners Hirsch said that since the pandemic, it seems that some fundamental things in the global supply chain are broken. Automakers are the most at risk in AlixPartners Disruption Index, which tracks the effects of a wide range of pressures on various industries.
There's no silver bullet for predicting or dealing with all of these crises because they each have some unique thing that you would have to do differently. And that's what we're experiencing.